It's your boy MarqRich, aka Marquell. I am here with my main man, Caleb Meadows. We are here to discuss the Super Bowl. As a St. Petersburg, Florida native, I am proud to say that the Bucks have made it, baby. The Bucks have made it, and they are going to be facing the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to be breaking it down for you. You know what I'm saying, stat by stat, situation by situation, matchup by matchup. And so let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
It's been an exciting year for Tampa Bay sports.
For sure.
With the Lightning winning and even the Rays going to the World Series, but I have not seen the excitement that I've seen about the Bucks that I've seen with any other sport. I mean, neighborhoods are going to go crazy on Sunday when we win this game.
Yeah.
So I think one of the big things we were talking about first, it's obvious, right? Mahomes versus Brady.
Yeah.
It's what the NFL wanted. Yeah. It's what we wanted. A matchup, and these guys, they played each other 4 times before.
Yeah.
And they're 2-2. Brady won the first 2. Mahomes won the second 2.
Yeah.
The combined score of those games was 121 to 120. There's a 1-point difference, and you cannot tell me this isn't just set up to be a great matchup. And great for the city.
Yeah.
And that's really why we're here to talk about it, because we know it's big for our city. And we're just happy for people to be along for the ride with us,
For sure.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this at the beginning. I am a Falcons fan. I am from Georgia originally, but I have lived here 15 years. So
we got beef in the division.
As long as the Bucks aren't playing the Falcons, I will be cheering them on. So let's break down that Mahomes-Brady matchup a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, I saw another crazy stat about Brady. In the red zone this year, 36 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah. It's honestly, this is what I think you got to, just looking at it from a perspective of, like, if you're a Tom Brady, bro, most of his passes are sharp. Most of his passes are on target. Yep. And you put him in the red zone, that's a short field. You got A.B., Evans, Godwin. You have a bevy of options. Miller, Gronk, Bray.
Red zone,
you can go down the line. You can even go to Fournette if you want to in the red zone.
And Ronald Jones.
Aaron Ronald Jones. Yeah. So it's really, honestly, that doesn't surprise me that he hasn't had any interceptions, because how do you guard that? How do you defend that?
Well, it's and they say the red zone's the hardest part to score because it's the shortest part of the field, right? There's less things you can do. But, and I think Bruce Arians said it about Brady, is that this year he can kind of sit back and coach.
Yeah.
And let Brady coach, and doesn't have to coach as much. And that has obviously proved to be very fruitful for them. So, I'm excited to see Brady versus Mahomes. I think it's, obviously like the passing of the torch.
Yeah.
The old 6 rings, never been with a new team, comes to the new team, takes them to the Super Bowl, and then versus the young GOAT who just won it last year.
Yeah.
And the reason he didn't win it 2 years ago is because he lost to Brady in the playoffs. So it's a crazy matchup.
Well, and that's what I was going to say about Mahomes is this is what makes it such a great matchup, is that just like Brady is sharp and on target with his passes, it's like Mahomes is like the younger version of that.
On steroids.
And he doesn't have as many weapons, you know what I'm saying? He has weapons, but he doesn't have the amount of weapons that Tom Brady has. So it's like, for him, what he's done this year is just remarkable. To me, the defense has kind of not been up to par. So he's kind of had to carry the team on the offensive side. And so, of course, we all kind of knew they were going to be here, right?
Yeah, I felt that way. But then when he had that concussion against the Browns, and, they were up only 5, and, and the Browns had the ball driving, I didn't know how Mahomes would come back. That was a big question for me even last week. And, like you said, the weapons that they have, too, is crazy. Yeah. Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Kelsey. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Bell. I mean, you forget Sammy Watkins is even on the team. Because there's so much going on.
Yeah, I feel like their weapons are younger. They're I don't feel like they're as experienced on the receiver side.
Right. I'd say the best experience they've had was that Super Bowl win last year.
For sure. That was huge.
But back-to-back, you don't see it. The last team to do it was the Patriots in 2003 and 2004. So Tom Brady, of course, we come back to another record for him, is the reason why.
My boy David Robinson, what's good, man?
What's up, David? How you doing tonight, man?
Man, that's my college roommate, man. We balled out together.
But, a big thing for me is just the matchup's going to be crazy. And I wanted to ask you, is it really home field advantage? They cannot blow the cannons unless the only time they are firing the cannons is when they introduce the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So on every touchdown, there's going to be no cannons. Do they really have home field advantage, or do you think that kind of takes it away?
Here's the thing. For me, I feel like it is home field advantage just because of the road it took to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even though there's no cannons, it's like, man, we didn't have to go nowhere. Kansas City they get here, what, today?
Yeah. I mean, that's an advantage in itself.
We've been here. We've been practicing. This is our territory.
This is our routine too, right? Like once you break that routine, it's and there's 2 weeks to prepare. Right, so I think Kansas City probably got here a few days ago, but that's nothing compared to being able to sleep in your house. You can sleep in your own house.
Now we can fact check it, but from what I understood, they couldn't come until Thursday
COVID.
Or Friday.
It's probably a COVID thing.
Yeah.
But so, who do you think actually wins the first half? What do you think happens in the first half of the game? Do the Bucs go into the second half down, or is it one of those times where Brady's going to have to rally back, or will it be Kansas City comes out like they did when they played him the first time when Tyreek had 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half? So what do you think? What do you think about the first half?
Honestly, I think the first half is going to be like, you ever, how like we get hyped for like these big boxing matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like everybody's like all hype about the boxing match, and then like the first 3 rounds, no punches are thrown.
It's all feeling out, right?
Let me just check you out, see what I think that's what the first quarter is going to be. And then I think second quarter, that's when it's going to start to open up. But as you know, Brady's going to only do short passes, easy short passes, quick to the point. Basically from there, you got to think about Mahomes. He's not going to do anything too risky in the first half. He'll take his risk more to me in the second half than he will in the first half.
Okay. And I think they can afford it more, right? Because I think Brady threw 3 picks last week, right? And they still won.
Yeah.
So Tampa Bay's defense keeps them in games. I don't know if Kansas City defense necessarily keeps them in a lot of games. I know they got Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark and that Sorensen, the safety. They got a couple really
They're solid.
Guys,
they're solid on defense. It's just that
they play good enough to win.
But I think this time, because you got to remember last time we played them, we had an AB that still wasn't in the groove, still wasn't connecting with Tom.
Agreed.
And then we had a Godwin who was just getting back, to like, I don't know what, 75%.
Yeah,
maybe.
He's not even 100 now.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was getting to maybe 75 at that point. So it's like, to me, we're a different Bucs team than it was in that game. So in this game, I feel like with us, not like Tom is not going to take the chances he took last week. Like,
no. I think
you can take chances like that.
I think they'll run the ball a little more. I think
we need to.
You give it,
please
give it to Fournette and you give it to Ronald Jones and you wear them out. Because we all know that Tom Brady can throw the deep ball and that Mike Evans and Gronk and Godwin, even Brait, and Scotty Miller, that's another guy. These guys can all catch the long ball. But
Chris, young guy, second-year player. Receiver. He's got hands too, bro.
Oh, and there's that other kid, Tyler Johnson. There's a bunch of stars on that team. And at the end of the day, I do think it'll probably come down to one possession, but the first half, I think that we'll actually go in behind. I think that the Bucks will be down, maybe 17-14. They'll be down the spread. So
I can see that.
So the spread is, 3. The Chiefs are favorites, and they got 3 points, and the over/under is 56.
Yeah.
So do you think they score more than the 56 as well together, or do you think they're under that?
Get over the 56.
Yeah, because it would be like a 30-27 game would be 57.
I don't think they go a whole lot over 56. I think they'll mean like maybe 60. Yeah, maybe 65 at the most.
I can see that. And we talk a lot about offense. We always talk about offense, but this Bucks defense is not a joke. I mean, you got Sue, you have JPP, you got Levante David, you got Devin White, you got Carlton Davis and Antoine Winfield. I mean, they really have a squad that knows how to play ball and plays hard. So hopefully they can match with the speed of Hardman and Hill. These guys are,
these guys are fast. I think what the key to that is going to be if we can, like you said, rush the front four, like rush the quarterback. Like we gotta be on his ass.
And that's what you were saying was one of your main keys to the game was pressure the quarterback, because we've seen Brady get flustered when he gets rushed, and Mahomes is elusive. He's not very fast, but he extends plays. So
he will.
If they can find a way to put him on the ground and not let Tyreek Hill and all these guys just run wild, that's going to be a big key to the game.
Honestly, and I mean, this may not be a hot take, but I really think that Mahomes is going to be the biggest weapon for them on the ground in this game.
Could be, because they'll probably play, I don't know if they'll play man, just because you got to put 2 on either Hill or Kelsey and tell the other one, hey, try and beat me. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be weird to see what they do. And it's going to be interesting. And I'm surprised. Did you know what ESPN's chances were that the Chiefs would win?
What's that?
Do you know what they are?
No.
Just take a guess.
I'm going to say 75.
52%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was really surprised. Wow. I thought, man, they're giving the Bucks 48%.
Well, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to tell you why, too, though. It's like we've improved. Like, think about it. 7-game winning streak, right?
Yeah. And then you look, the big one to me, I look back and I see how the Bucks played the Saints in the regular season. And the Saints wiped the floor with them. Now, when we played in the playoffs, it was a different game. So it is all about who's hot at the right time. Yeah. And I think they need to come out.
them when they weren't 100%.
Yes, for
Michael
sure.
Thomas wasn't 100%.
For sure.
To me, I don't think Breeze was all the way there, to be honest with you.
And I think that's probably why, you're looking at one of his final years as well.
Yeah. But the Packers win, to me, solidified that, okay, they're ready for the Chiefs.
And they're ready for it. And they're ready. But at the end of the day, if Mahomes comes out and puts 21 up in the first quarter like we've seen the Chiefs do, it's not like they're playing the Falcons with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
It's not like a 25 deficit that you can overcome.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest concern with that is the secondary. Them just getting beat on a big play. I don't believe that it'll be a situation where they'll I don't think they'll give up the big
the home run
yard after the catch.
Okay, so they'll make their tackles when they need to.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue will be with just that deep ball that, if Carlton Davis or Dean gets beat, or you know what I mean?
And it's easy for Hill, who runs a 4-2, 4-3 to get by you. So
he's incredibly fast.
So limit the big plays.
Yeah,
rush the quarterback, and your defense has got to turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You've got to get some extra possessions, because the Chiefs can score on one play and it'd be 75 yards, and before you know it, they're back in a game. So it'll be interesting to see that as well. Now, I heard this interesting thing that Gronk said about Kelsey. He said that he's the only player he's ever seen in the NFL get better every year. Yeah. And this is one of the greatest tight ends ever in Gronk.
Yeah.
saying that about a guy who's they're the same age.
Yeah. Same age.
It's really crazy, but he's saying that about a guy who he's going to be playing against. So I think Kelsey is a big part of their offense, and if they can beat him the ball at the right time, we may be looking at some trouble with him and Hill. But I like our defense. I think we can put pressure on Mahomes. And then we'll see how Bruce Arians handles this. This could be his first Super Bowl win.
Man, I'm excited for him. Dude.
Me too.
I really am.
And it's even, I think I said this earlier about him saying, well, this year I could coach less because I could sit back and kind of let Tom coach.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that will be this game.
Yeah.
I think you'll see a lot of Tom making in-game adjustments. And then when the second half starts, we'll see what happens from there. Now, I do want to hear a crazy prediction that you have for the game.
Oh, man. Honestly, I think the Bucks, to me, I think the Bucks going to get about, like 5 sacks, man.
5?
I think like
wow.
5.
Wow. Now, who do you think gets the most?
I think Shaq gets 1. I think JPP, man.
Yeah, it's his time to shine, right? And this is what he's wanted ever since he left New York, was to be back in this moment.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he was playing Brady.
Yeah.
For Super Bowls before, but
yeah.
I think if JPP can get after the quarterback, they might actually have 5 sacks. Now, one of my crazy predictions, and
I think Devin White's gonna get 1.
Call me crazy here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that Cameron Brate has 100 yards receiving. I know. But what I'm thinking is you're game planning for the 3 names we brought up, right?
Yeah.
Gronk, Evans, Godwin, and then AB. You still have to game plan for him.
Yeah.
So you're telling me there's another guy out there who's going to get better matchups, and not be looked at as hard. I think Cameron Brate goes for 100 receiving yards. Now he hasn't done it all year, so that's a crazy one.
The thing is, like, it is. I could see him getting maybe 50, 60 yards. The only reason I'm worried about the 100 is like I just think Brady has so many weapons that he's gonna spread the ball.
Right.
Like he's not focused on one guy at all. Like I don't even think AB will get a lot of yards in this game.
No, he'll be used as a decoy a lot, and they do that with Hill too with the Chiefs. So
I think Evans is going to lead in yards this game,
we'll
which
see.
is not a hot take.
My crazy prediction though is that Brate will have 100.
That'll be interesting to see. I think their defense is definitely going to make sure that they have a certain focus on our tight ends
and the top. But at the same time, you want to focus on Gronk because that's who Brady has the best chemistry with, right?
Yeah.
But look at the stats that Mike Evans put up this year. I think he had 1,000 receiving yards and 70 receptions.
Yeah.
Godwin had 65 catches and another 970 yards. So it's crazy how much they spread the ball around. And then at running back, they can kind of plug and play. I also wouldn't be surprised to see Ronald Jones or Fournette go over 100 yards either.
Yeah.
And call me crazy. So if you had to guess,
mm-hmm.
what rank do you think the Chiefs' defense was this year in the regular season? It surprised me. Let me tell you, it surprised me how high they were.
We'll say probably win the top 5.
11th. Their defense was ranked 11th, which with their offense, you don't need a top 5 defense. The Bucks at the end of the year was ranked 8th with the number 1.
The only reason why I said maybe top
defense.
5 is just because I'm thinking it wasn't like they gave up a whole ton of points.
And that's where they're good. They're good in the red zone where Brady's good.
Yeah.
So you're looking at mano-a-mano there.
Yeah.
And it will be interesting to see the game plan too. Now, I do have to ask you, because I asked you about the first half, what do you think about the weekend on the halftime show? I mean, are you excited to watch the halftime show?
Weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's dude.
He said he's gonna have a guest star too, so
that's gonna be huge. The Weeknd is one of my favorite artists just because I feel like he finds new creative ways to do his genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He's to me like he's an innovator when it comes to like making like like taking like maybe like an older sound and making it like futuristic.
Now, who's the special guest? Who's the special guest he brings on? Because they said there's going to be a special guest. You know, it's got to bring down the house.
Dude,
Beyonce? Could The Weeknd bring Beyonce or Jennifer Lopez or
honestly,
or Drake?
That's what I was about to say. Like, honestly, I don't know what their relationship is.
Well, they did some Take Care stuff together.
Yeah, but it's been a while. I don't, you know what I mean, since they actually worked together. Has it? I mean, when was the last time they worked together? Maybe like a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a. But I imagine they're in touch like all those Hollywood guys. But Drake coming out with The Weeknd would be epic. But I think
that's what I would say.
But I think it'll be a good halftime show. Okay, yeah. I think it'll be a good halftime show. It sucks that there won't be able to be all the people going crazy.
Yeah.
Give it the energy. And that leads me to another question. The 25,000 fans is now. Both teams haven't really played with fans this year. So will that be a factor in communicating? Without having done it all year, you're going to have 25,000 roaring fans who haven't been able to go to games all year. How crazy is that going to be? Is it going to be like a normal experience, or do you think it's still going to be, kind of lackluster, like quiet, like the bubble?
See, it's going to be loud. It's going to be loud. But it doesn't. I feel like these quarterbacks, that's like the last thing on the list that they're worried about.
Right. I agree.
Especially with Mahomes, it's like he has so many. He's so versatile that it's like if let's say the play breaks down, he's gonna find a way to get some sort of yardage, some sort of positive yardage out of the situation. So it's like, I don't think the noise will be a factor. It's everything that really is gonna be the final say so of this game is gonna be played out on the field.
Now, if you did have to say this too, is there any team that has an advantage, or is there any team that's clearly better? Because the Vegas would say that the Chiefs are 3 points better, or that much better than the Bucs. Do you give them that, even though we're playing in Tampa Bay and Tampa's been on a roll?
I give them that only because of, first of all, the team that they are right now isn't too far off from the team they were last year. I think they were more powerful, a little bit more powerful last year. So, with that in mind, and then, like you said, the season that they've had, the record, I mean, I can understand that 100%. I give them that, but I feel like that's from a perspective of numbers, statistics.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're looking at the eye test, I feel like this Bucs team is better than it was. If
you're just purely looking at paper,
yeah,
they're very, 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 very close.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, on paper, I would probably give it to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
In my that's just my.
Just because of the arsenal of weapons. I agree, and I might give it to the Bucs defense.
Yeah.
For their advantage over KC.
I just think that Tom Brady. First of all, Tom Brady, you've seen what he did against the Falcons. He's not.
Don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about.
I mean, I didn't want to bring it up, dog. I love you, bro. You're my friend. I didn't want to bring it up, but we've seen what he's capable of doing.
Right.
When he's like, okay, no, I'm not losing this.
Back
like Tom doesn't have a lot of time left.
He plays good with those back against the wall.
So like every play, every game, every moment is key for him. Like he didn't come this far to be like fold, you know what I'm saying, and throw a bunch of crazy picks. I think that he's gonna, especially in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady, that's when he's really gonna shine. I think it's really gonna be on our defense. And I heard a quote from Devin White today, and he was like, he heard Tom Brady say, he doesn't want the loss to be on him. And then Devin White is like, nah, man, like we don't want the loss to be on us. So it's like, I feel like with that, if the defense holds their end of the bargain, Tom is not going to let them down. And then on the reverse side, if you go back to it, they're not going to let him
They're just going to hold each other accountable.
I feel like, yeah. Not to say that Kansas City won't do the same. I just feel like it's going to be a little more of a drive on Tampa Bay side, especially with such stakes. Like, we don't know what this team's going to look like next year. We know Tom's back.
That's true. And Ron wants to come back, and a couple guys who, on the defense will have to sign contracts. But, is Brady the LeBron of the NFL?
Honestly, dude, I'm a Jordan fan. So
okay, depending on your era, is he the Jordan of the NFL, or is there?
Because I think Brady is better than LeBron in the sense of like with Brady,
championship pedigree. Like,
it's like Brady doesn't need a lot of tools or a lot of there's been times where LeBron has come out and said, look, man, I need more playmakers on this team. I've never heard, Brady may say it to his wife. right. But he's not going to come out to the media and be like, man, we need more receivers. Like, I don't have nobody to throw to, or I don't have any weapons, or I haven't had a running back in 2 years. Like,
here's what I look at it as. If LeBron goes to any one team, you automatically pick that team as a favorite to win, right?
True.
So Brady, even in a sport that there's 10 other players on the field with you at the same time, he affects a game that much where it's not necessarily just a one-player game. In basketball, you can say one player can change it. In football, I can't think of a lot of one-person teams
that can change. Yeah,
and that's also who he brings with him, right? He brought AB, he brought Gronk.
Yeah.
So people follow him wherever he goes.
This is the first time he's gone anywhere. You know what I mean? He's literally taken a pay cut, stayed in New England, waited for them to build teams around him. And it's literally just, every year has proven that. To me, this is my opinion, greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay. And I agree with you there. The stats will back it up. Now, we're going to do rapid fire here.
Bet.
I'm going to give you two names, and you're going to tell me who has the bigger game.
All right.
All right? Mahomes or Brady?
Brady.
All right. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill or Mike Evans?
Tyreek Hill.
Kelsey or Gronk?
Kelsey.
And here's a big one for me that I think a lot of people are thinking about. Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette or Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Williams.
I got the running backs from the Bucs.
Okay, all right. And then defensively, who comes out with the most takeaways? Is it the Bucs defense or is it the Chiefs defense? That's
Bucs defense.
I think he's a little biased, folks, but I'm kidding you. But yeah, I think all those are right. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Brady maybe even throw a couple picks and bounce back from that.
Let me ask you, man.
Okay.
All right, so Brady or Mahomes?
Just stats?
No, game, period. Good, best game, best performance.
Mahomes.
Evans or Tyreek Hill?
Hill put up 263 and 3 touchdowns last time, so I don't think he does that again. So give me Evans because I don't think Hill has that same performance.
I win of Hill.
Hill, because Evans is going to have a big game, and maybe Godwin's looked at later in the game in a couple slants, but Hill is just going to have a lion's share of their touches. Even when they use him as a decoy, he's just as valuable. So.
Okay, I got a good one for you. What's front four? The Chiefs front four.
So, the Chiefs, they have Derek Nottie, they have Frank Clark. They have some straight-up bulls and china shops up front. But, and I'm gonna leave a big but there. Right. Vita Vea, JPP, Shaq Barrett, Sue. You can go down the list with these guys. The Bucs have the better front four, and like we said earlier, if they pressure the quarterback, that's a win for the Bucs. I really believe that. So I think the front four for the Bucs is better, but it's closer than you would think.
Yeah. All right. Bucs secondary or Chiefs secondary?
The Chiefs have the better one player in Matthew. You know, I think as a whole, though,
Agreed.
with Bunting and Carlton Davis and Winfield Jr., those guys, they're young and they're ball hawkers. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And even other coaches have said, these guys go after the ball. They play hard football. So if I had to pick one player, I'll take Matthew. But if I had to take the whole, as a whole, the Bucs secondary looks pretty good right now.
I got one last big one.
All right.
Coaches. Andy Reid versus Bruce Arians. I think this is like going to be a big key to the who wins.
It's going to be a mind battle, and I think Andy Reid is a better coach, and here's why. I think Bruce Arians is a very good players coach, right? He lets his players kind of not do whatever they want, but he kind of has a loose. Yeah. That's not the way with Andy Reid. He is, and he's cool, but he's down for business. If I had to pick a coach to start my team right now between the two, I would take Andy Reid. You know, we've seen him do it with the Eagles. We saw him 1-1 last year. So this is Bruce, you know, really coming onto the scene. This could be a big opening moment for his career. So I'll take Andy Reid if I got to take him for a season. But, you know, they're both great coaches with great minds for the game. And now I had
Which one?
I'll take Andy Reid.
You take Andy Reid.
I think the matchup, he's already had success. He's already had success earlier this year.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to mix it up a bunch. I don't think you're going to see, you know, 13 balls going to Tyreek Hill in the first half. I think you're going to see them spreading it around to Sammy Watkins and Mecole Hardman and Jamarcus Robinson. So I think you will see that. Now, I got a good one for you. You have 2 minutes left in the game. You're down by 4, so you need a touchdown. Who are you taking? If you had to take one, Brady or Mahomes? Down 4 in the Super Bowl. Okay.
The only reason why is because I know Mahomes is going to execute in that situation. I just feel like Brady's done it more.
Sort of a clutch gene, right? Like he has that just.
Dude, he's been doing it for so long,
you know?
That it's like almost, to me, it's almost like second nature. Like it's going to click. Like, okay, now's the time that I do this.
Let me tell you a funny story. My wife, when the Falcons were playing the Patriots, and they were up 28-3, my wife looked at me and said, "Oh, the Falcons are going to get their first Super Bowl." And I said, "Why did you say that? We're playing Tom Brady." And it's true. When you're,
I remember watching that game.
Even when you're up by 14 on Brady, you cannot count him out.
You cannot.
Even when you're up 25, you can't count him out. Ask the Falcons.
Yeah.
But, the biggest matchup, I think, is obviously the Brady or Mahomes. But then it's if they get hit or if they don't.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see then. And then I wanted to ask you, as we're almost about to wrap up here.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the final score of the game will be, and who are you picking to win?
Well, listen, this may come as a surprise.
You're picking the Chiefs?
I'm going 31-27. 31-27. I feel like it's going to be a nail biter down to the end of the game. Like you said, probably a 2-minute drill.
Yep.
I feel like a touchdown will win the game. And I think that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win 31-27. Tom Brady will be the MVP. It'll be number 7 for him.
You heard it here.
You heard it here.
MarqRich believes that Tampa
confidently. Hold up. Matter of fact.
Hold on. Turn around now. He didn't want to be biased, but
I didn't want to be biased, but yes, Tampa Bay.
So
yes,
for me,
give me your decision, man. What does it come down to?
The Bucs are gonna win. The Bucs are going to win, and I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go higher than I think what people think is going to happen. I'm going to go 38-34, and I'm going to say that touchdown to win it is last second. Yeah, I think it's 38-34. I think it's hard to slow both down. Their offense is down.
Yeah.
And like I think I told you earlier, I think the Kansas City will probably be held to a couple field goals.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt them. So I think 38-34, cover the over-under. They will. I think even if they win or not, they will cover the 3-point spread.
Yeah.
So if they lose, they'll still cover the spread.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a great moment for Tampa Bay, regardless, right? 25,000 people in the fans or 75,000. I think our city's so excited, especially after the Lightning one, man. It's like we're all like, hey, well, let's get another one, right?
Yeah.
So I think the best thing for the city right now, they're obviously going crazy, but I think we're going to pull home a win. I think it'll be 38-34. And if you have what you think the score is going to be, comment your predictions. We want to see what you guys think about the score because
Kansas City Chiefs fans are getting blocked.
Oh yeah, no, we won't block you. We'll just censor you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be great for the city. And final question: who has a better mascot, the Chiefs or the Buccaneers? Would you rather be a Chief or a Pirate?
Oh, Chief.
Oh, see, I don't know. Being a Pirate would be pretty cool.
Yeah, man, but
if you're the Chief, you're the head of the pack. If you're a Pirate, you're just one among many.
Yeah,
right?
Man, I would rather be a Chief, even though I'm a Bucs fan, but I would rather be a Chief. Just being honest. What about you?
I like to see, man. I might be a pirate.
You look like a
I'm gonna lose an eye and get a peg leg, dude, and then I'll be on there. We're excited for the game, though. And that's why I think we did this today, so that we could show people there's a lot of excitement in Tampa Bay surrounding this game.
Yeah, this is huge.
And we want you guys to have fun, have a great time, and be safe, man. They're going to be on the lookout for drunk drivers, so don't drink and drive. Take an Uber, enjoy the party, make some hot wings, do what you got to do. But we're excited, and hopefully in the future, me and you can get together on a couple more of these podcasts and shut it down. So
we'll be talking about all topics, anything and everything. It'll be the Caleb and MarqRich show.
Well, man, it was a pleasure, dude. Thanks for having me on. And
yes, sir.
I think this is a big year for Tampa Bay, and I just really feel like a lot of things. Sometimes once the snowball starts rolling, it goes downhill, and it just keeps picking up more speed. So
this is huge for our city, and as many people that can come here safely. Don't bring Corona.
We got enough in Florida.
We got enough in Florida. Trust me. Promise you. And but yeah, it's like it's just gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be big even if Kansas City wins. Like I feel like it's still gonna be a huge event. Like people are still gonna celebrate.
And it's bringing money to our city. I mean,
oh my God,
we'll take whatever money that they can bring to better our communities too. So yeah.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, hey, you guys, make sure you like it.
Yeah, like
it and share it.
Share it.
And honestly, give us your comments below about what you think the score is going to be. If somebody gets the score right, I will send them $50 cash.
Damn.
$50 cash if you can guess the right score and the right team.
You know what I'm saying?
So tune in, look, comment down below, and hopefully we see you guys in the future.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. This has been another episode, and we'll be back soon. Peace. Dude, I'm going to have to go.